Welcome back to Fast Stock Market News, where I give you all the stock market news as fast as I can. So today's in the market, it was a really all over the place day in the market. I mean, it was kind of just a wild day of swings today. If you guys start off in opening bell, the market spiked up 2-3%. A lot of stocks, if you might have had like growth stocks, they spiked up 2-3%, and then somewhere along the line around 7-8 a.m., everything just kind of dumped, and then it rebounded once again around the midday, and then slowly getting closer to closing bell, we started to sell off once again. And when I say this market is just all over the place and absolutely does not make sense, I mean, in the market that we are in right now, you just cannot predict it at all. I mean, even experts are saying that. Let me just tell you what I'm talking about right now. So after the bell, PayPal reported earnings. PayPal cut annual profit view as macroeconomic challenges mount. Basically, the Russia-Ukraine things is causing a lot of stress on PayPal's revenue streams. And of course, any other company early in the week reports this. It doesn't matter what company it is. Like as long as it's a technology company, the stock would tank. You would get Netflix. What happens with PayPal? Of course, yeah, they're up. And after hours. That makes sense. Of course, that totally makes sense. But in PayPal's defense, they are absolutely getting butchered this year. They're down almost 70%. So I guess this is the market's way of giving PayPal a break. And if you think that's crazy, let me just say something even more insane. So another one of the FANG stocks, the other ones being Amazon, Netflix, well, probably not much longer, but Apple and Google. So Facebook earning beat sends Meta stock soaring, but sales hit slowing growth in hit slowest growth in a decade. So a lot of this has to do with TikTok being a big competitor as well as Snap, and again, if this would have been probably last week or maybe at the beginning of the week, Monday, it says right here. Facebook jumped more than 50% after hours on Wednesday after formally known, disclosed first quarter earnings, blah, blah, blah. But all of this being said is basically they fell short of the consensus of $28.3 billion. But what do you expect? What's going to happen to Facebook? Of course they're going to sell off because everyone sells off. It's tech, right? It makes sense. Oh, no, never mind. They're up almost 19% after hours. And again, this may be the market's way of giving Facebook a break because Facebook, a lot like PayPal, has been absolutely annihilated this year. So maybe this could be a way of them letting them forgive them for their estimates and misses this quarter, but they have to improve next quarter. And overall, it's just been a crazy day, honestly. I don't know if you're buying calls or selling puts or what have you. This would be something like so unpredictable. I honestly have no clue what's going on anymore. It's just wild because, like I said, all these things that have been happening, misses have been getting your stocks annihilated. Now you have Facebook and PayPal reporting misses and weak guidance, and their stocks are spiking. Absolutely wild, guys. So I thought it'd be a good idea just to see why Facebook is actually jumping right now. Let's take a look.
Sigh of relief in the market. I mean, look at the stock. It's up nearly 8% in the OT. That's certainly a different story than what happened last time.
Well, the biggest issue last quarter for Facebook was the fact that they were losing users, like you referenced. And if they're able to grow users, then it changes the game for them. You don't really find a way to make your living as a shrinking social network. Look at Pinterest right now. Disastrous, the contraction that they're seeing. Facebook growing, that's important. I think that the revenue guidance is a concern, right? They're still being hit by Apple, probably inflation and other macro factors that we're seeing across the economy. But number one is they have to be able to grow, and they're growing, so that's why the market's reacting.
Josh, that last print last quarter had people wondering perhaps whether we had seen peak Facebook. A first ever drop in DAUs. I'm wondering if we're still thinking that today there is competition to worry about. TikTok and Snap, other things that people are doing today may be different than Instagram. What do you think?
Yeah, and now on the horizon, my friend Dan McMurtry at Super Mugatu on Twitter likes to bet against companies where they end up with a competitor that's like being locked in a cage with an axe-wielding psychopath. A reinvigorated Twitter, don't believe the hype about we're closing down ads. If anything, they may get even more aggressive in competing for eyeballs, for ad revenue, for everything with something like an Instagram. So I don't love the setup here. I like the fact that the stock was able to bounce rather than violate those COVID level lows, which is about 150 to 160 a share. If we're not going to visit those levels tomorrow, I guess that's a good thing. That's somewhat constructive. But technically, this thing is still in no man's land. And as we've learned, don't trust the post-earnings bounce. They almost never last. So far, that's been a pretty good rule of thumb for investors on the day after earnings. Maybe this one will snap that narrative, but until it happens, I wouldn't be saying the coast is clear in this name. It's just a lot of damage and a lot of people trapped in this stock.
Guys, that's the biggest news of the day. The Facebook rip, really, it's absolutely wild and definitely unexpected. But as you saw in the video, Josh did mention about how the market post-earnings is never indicative of how they're going to trade the next day. Perfect example was if you guys checked out Tesla after earnings, they spiked up 6-7%. And the next day, if you guys own Tesla stock, you saw that thing tank about 10-15%. So it's never something to be over reliant on after the bell's over and then earnings are posted that it's going to carry over to the next day, especially during this definitely NASDAQ bear market. But yeah, guys, just be aware that to not like put all your eggs in the Facebook basket. This could just be a temporary bounce. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Thanks again, everyone, for watching Fast Stock Market News. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, commenting, or liking the video. I would greatly appreciate it. My name is Gio, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care.